coffee house muffins on
yeah.
a whole food plant-based diet we call a protective diet. I'm going to demonstrate this free recipe on protectivediet.com for blueberry muffins. And I'm also adding an enhancement, the thing that makes it a coffee house muffin. And I want to remind you, before I make this recipe for you today, you must make it. But the reason I make my own muffins, number one reason, is that I don't go and pick them up from Costco. I walk through that section at Costco and I observe what everyone is munching on, and I get ideas from it and inspiration from it. And that's where this recipe came from, along with magazine cover over the summer. There was this coffee house muffin. I'm like, I need to up my muffin game. Our original blueberry muffin recipe, check it out. You don't have to take notes. It's there for you on protectivediet.com. It's a free recipe. But this one is an enhancement. Oh my gosh, look at these muffins. These muffins got me where I am today. I went from a size 22 in pain and inflamed to a size 2, living my life large now because I'm in charge of what I'm putting in my pie hole or my muffin hole. Anyway, we're baking bread that's fresh milled, and this recipe is going to teach you how to blender mill whole oat groats to cut food costs and improve food quality. That's what we're doing with a protective diet. These recipes are upping our game on a whole food plant-based diet. They are producing life-changing results when followed, when eaten on a daily basis. We stack the days on a protective diet, and it is guaranteed. 10 pounds a month is the average weight loss. I'm down 150 pounds and just maintaining, well, baking muffins and eating them too. So I just wanted to remind you of why I'm in my, what I call my workplace for wellness, my kitchen, because this is the most comfortable place to spend time to produce weight loss results and reduce inflammation so dramatically. I no longer struggle with heart disease. That went away like that. And to keep brain cancer away. I don't know if you know my whole story, but that's part of it, a big part of it. It was a lesson in my life to keep me going strong and celebrating how good it feels to eat this way on a protective diet. But let's get into the muffins. First thing first, with a dry blender, I'm blending up the topping. And this is part of protective diet education recipe, the topping. But don't worry, make the muffins. If you're not part of our program yet, I encourage you, just make the muffins. So this is exactly 100 grams of yesterday's boule. So this one I baked this morning, and I teach you how to do this in protective diet education. If you're not interested in fresh milling wheat and baking your own boules like this, it'll be there when you're ready. So the crumble topping that goes on top of these muffins to transform the blueberry muffins into coffee house looking muffins and tasting muffins. That's all it takes. We're blending this first in our blender because this recipe, I'm teaching you how to blender mill oat groats. Oh my gosh, that crumbled topping. It looks so good. I am going to toss this back in here because I put it in such a little bowl. Normally I put it in a big bowl so that I can make sure all of those delicious ingredients, the vanilla powder and everything, got mixed well. And it sure did. But I'm just doing that to show you, if you used a smaller bowl, use a bigger bowl. It's easier, then you can just mix them with your hands. But that's part of the advanced muffin recipe. Let's get to the basic part. And that starts with blender milling our oat groats. Or if you have a countertop grain mill, you can do it this way. But I buy oat groats because they keep longer and I can get them for cheaper than my rolled oats. I can roll them myself. But when I'm making oat flour, these are perfect for this. You could also use rolled oats. You just want to make sure you use 600 grams of oats and put them into your blender pitcher, your high-speed blender, and tear it out so you're at 0 grams. And then you can measure just directly into here. 600 grams. And this saves because organic oat flour can add up and it's cracked the grain so it starts to degrade. This is a fresher way, and this oat flour, come on, 600 grams. This oat flour smells way better than any oat flour you can get out of a bag. So right there, you've improved your food quality and reduced your cost of organic grains. "60 seconds, 1 minute, and you have the finest organic oat flour made in the comfort of your own workplace for wellness." So it usually knocks out of here pretty well. You could take a spatula and just scrape down the sides, and you're going to get a little more flour out of here, just like this. You can see. I have a Blend Tech. You want to use a high-speed blender for this, like a Vitamix or a Blend Tech. The Ninja, it won't do the job. Okay. It's one of my favorite kitchen tools is a high-speed blender on a whole food plant-based diet. I think it's essential. So, oh my gosh, it smells delicious when you're cracking your own oat groat and making the flour. It will improve the taste of your muffins, and it's going to improve the health of your muffins because you're using these beautiful whole organic oats. Then the next ingredient is the baking soda. We don't use baking powder on a protective diet due to the genetically engineered ingredients. So here we're using baking soda. You know, good old Arm & Hammer. And don't be fooled by those ads for aluminum-free baking soda. No, there's no aluminum in baking soda. This is just good old, the big orange bag you can find at Costco. Put it into a little jar for use in your kitchen. That way you're keeping odors out of it. The reason I can use baking soda and not baking powder is because the applesauce in this recipe acts as an acid. So that will create the rise, which reminds me, did you preheat your oven? I'm always asking myself because this recipe comes together so quickly that you want to get that going. 375 for these muffins. But don't worry about taking notes. This recipe for these blueberry muffins is on protectivediet.com. So then, baking soda. Vanilla powder is my preferred way to vanilla spice up these vanilla berry muffins. Oh my gosh, that are lemon kissed. So with this, we can use 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder or 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. With vanilla powder, you can get that in organics, and it's so affordable now, and it's far more strong aromatherapeutic. I'm going to fill my house with aromatherapy with this vanilla powder. So then next ingredient is salt. And you must put this little bit of salt in here. It's just half a teaspoon of salt, because that is what helps you to taste the vanilla, along with the bananas that are, and the applesauce, that's our sweetener in this recipe. And I love this Danish dough whisk. This is going to bring all my dry ingredients together evenly before I add my moist ingredients. And my moist ingredients are going in my blender, so that's why I didn't even have to wash this out yet. We're starting out with 2 cups of applesauce. I make my own applesauce, and there's a recipe, part of Protective Diet Education, for whole applesauce. And that means peel and all. Oh my gosh, it's a canning revolution. This recipe is so fantastic, but it tastes so good that I'm not going to waste my jarred applesauce on going in some muffins. So 2 cups of applesauce. And this is unsweetened applesauce. So when you're buying this in your natural food stores, you want to look for an applesauce that all it contains is organic apples, nothing else. No additives, no acids, no citric acid, absorbic acid. They like to slip all these preservatives into our foods, and they are not good on our microbiome, the life within us. That I'm protecting with every ingredient I use on a protective diet. So then we have 4 bananas, and I have lots of bananas here because I live with a monkey. My Jerry, he loves Frosties. Oh my gosh, that's a free recipe on a protective diet too. Oh my gosh, and we have so many different variations on the Frosty. Oh, we love them.
Give me a piece so I can give it to Cooper.
Oh, my Coop dog here, he is very excited about a little taste of banana. All my muffins around here get made with a little taste of banana missing. All these peels are going to make my compost so happy, and this year's garden even better. Oh my gosh. So this goes onto my blender stand, blend it up into a puree. That's all it takes. And this is what makes this recipe come together so beautifully easy, is the use of our blender. All natural, all whole food ingredients. That's what we're going for with these protective diet recipes. The recipes, they are your guide. They will take you all the way to optimal health. They will promote the life within you, your microbiome, that feeds you all of your nutrition. They ferment and digest all of the plant fibers that we're focused on eating on a whole food plant-based diet. Clean as you go, everybody. It makes your life that much better. Done. That's all that takes. And then we're whisking this together. These make very large muffins, and I want to talk about muffin pans. When we are cooking oil-free, and that is very important on a protective diet or any diet for ease in weight loss, to be a very lean, healthy person, you want to cut the oils out. They're unnecessary. And the eggs. That's how we reverse heart disease, lower cholesterol. The egg is the highest in cholesterol of all the foods we could eat. But we're cutting out the saturated fat in what is sometimes labeled healthy oils. There's no such thing. They all thicken your blood. Think about oil in an oil and vinegar dressing. It thickens it. It does the same thing when you're trying to pump your blood through your veins. No, thank you. Frozen blueberries. You want to keep those berries frozen while you're mixing up your batter so that they don't color your batter. If they start to defrost, then they're going to turn your muffins purple. So you can use a cup, 2 cups, cup and a half. Let's go for the 2 cups. Let's make this really protective. Blueberries. Oh, I forgot the lemon zest. Very important. I almost forgot the lemon zest. So in my freezer, I keep a bunch of frozen lemons. This is the time of year. Here we are, February. We're in the peak of lemon season. Get your organic lemons and get them frozen whole in the freezer. And you can take your frozen lemons and zest them straight into recipes. And when you want to use a frozen lemon for the juice, just defrost it. Put it on the counter and it'll be ready in a few hours. Or I like to defrost lemons in my refrigerator. That way, if I don't get to them for a few days, they still stay ready and fresh. Because if you just leave this out on the counter, it's going to go bad. And if you're not in the mood for lemon juice, to use lemon juice for anything, then, ooh, this is cold. It's cold here. It's February. Frozen hands. This is the way I would suggest doing it. And you can zest up. You don't have to zest in because all the zest stays in here. If you're not going to be using lemon juice for a few days, just pop this lemon, this bulb lemon, back into your freezer, but put it in a separate container from the unzested lemons. Otherwise, you'll be fumbling around in there when you need a lemon that's for the zest. I put my lemon in a little bowl like this back into the fridge, and I'll use that for juice in a few days. The brightness of lemon in this recipe is to lift our spirits in the middle of winter. And we just fold those in. Shake off your whisk. Give it a rinse so it's not a problem later. And switch to your spatula, or even better, use a 1/2 cup measuring cup to fill your muffin cups. You can use parchment paper muffin cups. If you're giving these as a gift, which 1/2 of these will go to friends and 1/2 will go to Jerry and I today. And these freeze well too. But if you're preparing these for, say, a bake sale or a potluck or something like that, use the little muffin papers because it makes it look more like take and go or gifty. I'll do 1/2 in just the ceramic muffin tin because that's just going to go right down tonight with Jerry. And I use this as a gauge just so that I don't overdo some. But you can always go back and divvy it up. Put a little in each cup and go back and divvy up what's left. You can see the ones with the muffin cups, you can fill a little bit fuller because they're going to expand and fill those cups from the baking soda. But these we could fill too, higher. This dough sticks together. Now with these muffins, you'd normally just put them in there like that. But if you're part of protective diet education programming and you are topping them with the crumble coffee house topping, you might want to flatten these out a little bit to hold a little extra topping, and they will still rise up in the oven. So if you're interested in this crumble topping, enroll in protective diet education and join us along with our community, eating our way to optimal health. All of my recipe, there's over 800 recipes with protective diet education you would have instant access to. And these recipes are crafted with care to produce dramatic, life-changing results and ease in your kitchen, as you can see how easily this recipe came together. And it will impress all of your friends. And don't tell them you're on a whole food plant-based diet or a protective diet. Show them. The longer you do this, the more days you stack, it's going to be undeniable that you are doing what is best for optimal human health. You can't hide this. This is obvious. No matter what you're served in life, you're going to be able to manage it better when you have your health, when you are lean. You're able to you have this high energy. You have nothing holding you back. At least that's been my experience, Jerry's experience, and all of our protective diet community that has followed through every day with their practice and taken advantage of Jerry and I regrouping twice a week in protective diet education to keep excited about what they're doing. If we're not excited, we're going to go find something else that's more exciting. And 9 out of 10 times, that more exciting thing is not going to produce the results that you see before you and that you see over and over again. Results are typical on a protective diet. Everyone knows that, that's familiar with a protective diet. So just follow through with what works every single time. These are going in the oven. And Jerry, get ready for the aromatherapeutic experience.
I am ready.
We are having a vanilla berry aromatherapeutic experience around here. This is a huge part of sticking to any health-focused program or diet, like a protective diet, is we have to have the anticipation, excitement of our meals. And that's why Jerry and I, for the last 8 years, we have been eating 1 meal a day.
I can't believe it.
I teach all about the benefits from longevity, cognitive health, to the protective qualities of eating 1 meal a day.
Recovery too.
Oh my gosh. Athletic recovery for Jerry. He's a long distance runner, and it is phenomenal what he's done and how quickly the next day he's ready to go again. But anyway, all of that aside, if you want to learn more about the benefits of 1 meal a day and what we're doing with protective diet, enroll in protective diet education. But if you're not ready yet, check out the blueberry muffins recipe. That's without the crisp, the little crumble, the coffee house crumble on top. And check out, if you're not, this is part of protective diet education too, but learn about milling whole wheat berries and how to shape some pita pocket bread with a free recipe and cooking demonstration there to puff your own pita, fresh milled whole wheat style, on protectivediet.com and on our YouTube channel. So normally what I like to do is let these cool in pan, because that is the secret to releasing them from a ceramic tin without the parchment paper. We just give them a little wiggle and a little zhuzh, and they come right out of these ceramic pans, but they have to cool down in order to release. They like shrink up and away from the pan. So that is the way to get them out of there. But if you're not ready to invest in a new ceramic pan, or you don't have a silicone pan, get the parchment liners and get started. You can also shape parchment paper to fit into your muffin pan. I'm going to show you that tip really quick. It's something I don't do with all these new parchment liners that are out there. But all you have to do, you can cut it more neatly than that so that it looks pretty when it's coming, when you're delivering your goodies. Jerry and I are going to go do some special deliveries this afternoon, because that's what's fun about a protective diet, is the treats that we can share with all of our friends. And they're always surprised and amazed that Jerry and I are eating muffins and we're not living on just lettuce. So share your treats when everything starts showing up beautifully with your health and your physique. Everyone always asks, where did all the skin go? That was one of the major benefits of one meal a day, and eating whole grains, is how it promotes autophagy. So this, if you're cutting your own parchment liners, you know this trick if you've been following me a while, to crumple up your parchment paper. It will make it like elastic. And then you can shape it right into your own parchment cups, just like that. So that you don't have to go and buy any specialty items to go and make your friends oh so healthy and happy. They'll be healthier just by eating one of your protective diet muffins, I guarantee it. And I haven't met a friend yet that didn't devour this and say, I could do this protective diet thing. And I say to them, all you need to do is be willing to change the way you cook. Or if you don't cook at all, be willing to spend some time in the comfort of your own home, stocking up a protective pantry, cutting your food costs, and whipping up a batch of your own muffins instead of going to Costco and taking whatever it is they're serving you. Because what they're serving you is not producing results that are a breeze to maintain. Because I'm baking muffins. This is how I spend my free time. I make muffins instead of laboring like a hamster on a wheel on a treadmill. I don't do that. I don't do workouts to maintain this small size. It's unbelievable to me what I've done with my practice of a protective diet and creating all of these very strategic recipes to get you eating plant fiber diversity, because that is the secret to the Microbiome Population Project, what I teach in protective diet education for the last 13 years and 15 years writing recipes for it. Twice a week, meet up with us in protective diet education for the support you need to follow through every day, stacking the days, and soon enough, You will be amazed at the results. Doesn't take long. 10 pounds a month is the average. Comment below. Let me know what I can do to help you on your way with a protective diet. And so many people say, is this recipe free? Is this recipe free? We want this recipe. These recipes are member funded. I spend hours of my life happily creating them for everyone in our protective diet community. And I just had to share that this blueberry muffin recipe is a free recipe, but I'm always enhancing things to make them have even more eye appeal and a greater aromatherapeutic experience with our vanilla powder on top. Oh my gosh. I am so grateful for my protective diet and all I have achieved and all I've shared and helped our community achieve. Join us. Take care.
And best of health.
Let's go make some special hot muffin deliveries, Jerry.
How about we deliver them like to our table?
Not until sundown. One meal a day. The benefits are far too grand to sacrifice. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'll show you how these come out. Oh my gosh. Perfectly. That one's opening up. It'll seal back up as it cools. These are too hot to remove from the pan, but I had to show you. How beautiful.